What's up?
What's going on, brother? What is going on? I think we were just talking about some hallucinations and shit, weren't we? Oh man, how have you been doing this week?
Not bad, not bad. Like I said, I was telling you before, getting trying to get used to some new medication that the doctors got me on, and just kind of get through a busy weekend. We went out to Disney. I didn't do a 5 minutes at Disney this week only because, we stayed out at Disney on from Friday. We checked out Sunday,
Oh
but
man, how did that go?
it was fun. It was fun. We went out to one of the All Stars resorts, one of the lower ones, but you got to kind of see the experience all the way around at some of the parks. And I was actually relatively surprised how much I enjoyed it. I mean, the rooms aren't huge, but for a family and the way they design the rooms to have like this those beds that like pull down and it's like a cabinet and you pull it down and stuff. Murphy bed. I can hear my wife through the door. Um, it's like a Murphy bed. So you walk in the room and it's really just a table and chairs. And then at night you pull it down and the table folds down and has another bed. So it was a very cool, creative way to do the rooms. We had a lot of fun, but a lot of times, after since we live so close, we had to be out of the room by 11, and we stayed at the pool. We probably didn't leave till like two o'clock or so,
Right,
and
right.
then we stopped and got some food on the way home. So by the time we got home, and I wasn't feeling 100% because, like I said, I'm still getting used to this medication. I had to get upstairs because I didn't do any of my first week schoolwork. So I had to start jamming on that. I've still got one thing I got to finish, which I got to turn in late. But yeah, so between all that, I'm like, you know what? It was really busy weekend. I'm just going to step away from it. I'll come back and do another one next week. No big deal. I did a lot of shorts, so if anybody, I guess, I put them on YouTube as well. But if anyone follows on TikTok, I put them there as well. And I've got a couple more video clips I still got to piece together from that. But we had a lot of fun. We actually got really surprised on Saturday night. You would think, well, Saturday night it's the weekend before Halloween. It's going to be packed. We went out for the last 2 hours at Hollywood Studios, and it was dead. We got on in 2 hours. We got on three of the biggest rides out there. In fact, I took my daughter, my oldest, on Rise of the Resistance. I know you're going to want to ride that when you come out.
I
Star
I
Wars
am I am gonna
Rise of
ride that.
Resistance. It's fantastic. It's awesome. And we waited in about maybe a 30-minute line, which if you've ever seen some lines for that thing, it's been ridiculous. So we got so lucky. We got on. She enjoyed it. She loved it. She got surprised because there was a little drop at the end, and she got real surprised by that. She's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me about that." I'm like, "Of course, I'll tell you about that."
Of course, I'm not gonna tell you about that, Zach. I don't know. Go round them up. Go round them up. I'm not sure where everybody is today. That
But we
sounds like
were
a lot of fun.
surprised on how much we were able to do, especially at Hollywood Studios. We wanted to go to Magic Kingdom, but they were doing a Halloween party that night, so unfortunately we couldn't go.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. So it's funny that you went to Disney. So I went to Cedar Creek. Have you ever heard of Cedar Creek?
I've heard of Cedar Creek, yes.
So we went to Cedar Creek a couple of weekends ago. Last weekend, I think it was last weekend. Maybe it was last weekend. I don't know. It was. I want to say it was last weekend. And I haven't really done roller coasters in, man, a good solid like 8 years. Let's say 8 years. I haven't touched a roller coaster, and I was super excited to like get there to get on a roller coaster because it'd been so long, and that's just who
Mhm.
I am. I'm all about like the adrenaline and trying to see like how far you can push things. I got on the first roller coaster and about had a heart attack.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I don't remember them being this scary. So
I felt that way a couple years ago. We went to SeaWorld, and my mom was with us, so she kind of watched the kids. And the SeaWorld was kind of dead at the time, and they have this ride called Mako. This thing's all I knew about it was that it's supposed to be really fast, right? And they've got this other cool one that's like a manta that kind of brings your feet up, and that's still not that bad. This ride, literally, we got up there, and the guy it was so dead. The guy's like, pick whatever line you want. So we're like, sure, let's go for the front. Or maybe I think I said that more than my wife. But anyways, we're like, let's go for the front. And it's a coaster, but it has no shoulder harness. It just has this harness that comes over in the front of you. So it's like, okay, so you're going, and this thing goes up, and it has one of those. It dips in under itself, and this thing is fast as hell. My butt, I'm gripping onto this whatever in front of me, with white knuckling it the entire freaking time. My butt's coming off the seat. I'm fearing for my life at this point. I'm like, I don't remember feeling this way on roller coasters when I was young.
so so they had two roller coasters there that after I got on like three of them, it was over. I went all like frat boy again. It was Frank the Tank moment, and we were wide open, but it took me about three to get over it. So they had one of them where you basically stand up and it takes you over the edge of the first drop. You know how they always have that first big drop? They climb you up. It takes you all the way over, like the into the drop, and it stops.
Oh, that's
And it
messed up.
and it holds you there.
So you just like
And
dangle.
and there's only 3 rows, so we were in the first row. You're looking straight at the ground, and the track doesn't go straight down, it goes a little
Yeah,
bit dipped away from you.
it
So
kind of curves underneath
it
yourself.
curves underneath itself. It is the tallest drop of a roller coaster of this type, and they tell you, like, what kind of type it is, but it is the tallest drop of a roller coaster of this type. It held 9 world records. It's like the fastest
Jesus.
stand-up roller coaster, the highest drop of a stand-up roller coaster, and a few other things. But anyways, there was one other, and you made me think about that when you said, like, lap belt. The last one we did was their biggest coaster that they have. It's called the Millennium Force. It takes you up 390 foot. It drops you 320 foot. The reason I know this is they repeatedly tell you this over and over and over and over while you're standing in line, which took us 2 hours, by the way. And
Just in case you didn't see the first side.
we had the fast pass. Took us 2 hours with the fast pass to get on this ride. So I mean, that's how far back it was. Just people waiting forever. It's me and Logan. We're heading to this ride, and I keep trying to talk Logan out of it. Now, I don't think I've ever had Logan in any of my videos, but Logan's like 6'5" is what I think he measured out to be. He's like 6'4", 200 pounds. I am convinced that I'm going to be able to talk him out of this. So the whole time we're going through this, I'm trying to talk him out of it. Well, the coaster makes a loop right around the line, right? And I realized that they don't even have a lap belt. That they don't even have one of those lap bars that come down. It's
Oh,
just seat belts. Just
oh,
seat belts.
that's messed up.
It goes around you. And I keep watching. I said, Logan, they don't even have a lap belt. They don't even have a lap bar. It's just a seat belt. And he says, no.
This
There's
doesn't seem
more than
safe
that.
by any means.
There's more than that. I said, no, that's it. I keep watching. Well, eventually he sees it. And he's done decided at this point that he's going to drag me on this coaster if I try and get away. Well, he gets on the coaster and the seatbelt's not buckling, and I'm like, all right, here we go. This is how I'm getting out of this. They're not going to be able to get the seatbelt buckled. That lady comes over, immediately buckles it. I'm like, oh well, I guess here we go. We're sitting there. I got my seatbelt buckled, and I look for somewhere to grab a hold of, and they took away anything for you to grab a hold of. There's no bars for you to hold on to. There's no bars beside you for you to hold on to. There is nothing for you to hold on to. They decided that they were going to make you fear for your life on this coaster. No bar that comes down, nothing to grab a hold of.
I would be afraid before I left the gate.
Just a seatbelt. I was terrified. What do you mean afraid? I was terrified. So I have my hands on both ends of the seatbelt, and that's what I'm holding on to because there's nothing else to hold on to. I mean,
Like, how is this safe?
they purposely designed it to make you feel like you're feared for your life. Look, it climbed so high that you know how most of the time when it's climbing, you can look around and kind of see what's around you.
Yeah.
Oh no. It had you at such a vertical that the only thing you seen was sky until it dropped. I mean, that's all you seen was sky. It was an incredible time, but I got some pretty cool footage from that. I actually uploaded a video today on TikTok. I really haven't been uploading on there much, so go check that out when you get a free minute. Let's hit that chat, man. I see that we got a couple people over there. It's kind of slow tonight, but
Yeah, a couple people. Well, I see. Before we hit that, like I've popped on. You and I go back and forth, and I know you hit me up all the time. We'll hit up sometimes on Tuesdays, and lately you'll hit me up and go, "We doing it on my channel? Are you making it? Am I making it?" And sometimes I'm just like, Because I know that there's a lot of good people like Zach and Christina and Chase and Flipcake that hit both of our channels, but there's a lot of people that don't, and I'm not sad by that by any means, but I just know a lot of times we get more people to watch the show when it's on your channel than when it's on mine, and I'm not really caring either way. But and Wayne hit me up today. He goes, "You making the live today?" I'm like, nah, just do it on your channel. We get more hits on your channel. He goes, no, make it on your channel. I'm like, okay, boss.
You know,
I got a good chuckle out of it.
so that's slightly because I do this for a different reason than a lot of people, right? So a lot of people they do their lives to try and like get more views or to try and make more pennies or to try and get more followers or to give stuff away so that they can buy followers. I don't do that for any of that. I do that because you're my friend and I just want to come hang out with you and everybody else in the chat room. That's why we do this. It's not because it's making us a fortune.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's simply because we want to hang out and talk to everybody in the chat room. So I do this for a slightly different reason. So if we only have 15 people that watch us, then we only have 15 people that watch us. If we only have 5 people that watch us, then we only have 5 people that watch us because really I just came on here to hang out. I didn't come on here for any other reason.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that's where some people get stuff confused, right? They think that you're coming on to do things for some great like beneficial reason for yourself. I don't do this for myself.
No, we kind of make it a good hangout night and
Right. I
chat
mean,
and stuff. I mean, we chat from time to time throughout the week, but I think that we're kind of in the same realm of that. I
yeah,
like
I
going
do
and
this to
hang out.
come hang out with you and everybody in the chat, and I don't really care how many people show up for it. I mean, I think at some point I think at some point reality set in that if you don't do this because you enjoy hanging out with the person or you enjoy the chat, then you're not going to do this very long. I
Yeah,
don't care. I don't care if it makes you hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have made jobs that made jobs. I have had jobs that make six figures, and I have quit jobs that I've made six figures because I didn't like.
yeah.
I mean, so it if you don't
But
enjoy
I
it, then
think I
it's a
think that
different conversation.
I think that's sometimes frustrating. Even that's why I don't go into a lot of chats anymore because I feel that there are, and I'm not going to name anybody, but I feel that there are some groups out there that like their sole purpose is to try to get everyone to give them super chats and give them this or become a Patreon. I mean, we have memberships. Join if you want. If you don't,
If you don't, that's cool
a
too.
lot of times we'll throw that stuff out there for you for free. We
That's
really
right.
don't care.
I mean, that's
Um,
right.
but you know, we're not hindered. I think both of us have come to a point where, I mean, sure, it'd be great to be able to make some sort of living off of it or whatnot. But I think I've come to the conclusion I told you guys last week that I like doing YouTube just because I like doing it. I like the
Right.
art of
Right.
making content. I like hanging out and stuff like that. And that's just the way it is. And I don't see it any other way.
Well, like I said, I think at some point we came to the realization that that's just how it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. But
Anyways, off topic. Let's hit up this chat. Um, of course, right in start, we had our boy Zach Bonifer in the house. What's
Zach's
going on,
always in
buddy?
the house. What is up, brother?
We've got Flick Cake Design in the house. What's going
Flipcake,
on,
we
man?
actually sent you an invite. If you want to come hang
Yes,
out and
yes.
chat with us, you should go check that out on Instagram.
I hit him up last minute, and because because I thought about it, we're starting the channel. I'm like, we've been talking about bringing him in forever, and I'm like, I'm setting up the chat. I'm like, I'm gonna toss him over an invite real quick. If he can come in, cool. If he can't, hey, we'll get him on another week.
That's
But
right.
we might just start randomly like out there each week, just start tossing an invite to somebody at random and see what happens, which could be interesting.
It could be very interesting. Very interesting.
Just put them on the spot.
Miss Payne is
We
in
got
the
Christina
house.
Payne. What's going on?
Hey,
And
so
I
do
think
you
that's
keep up
all
with
that's
do
commented
you
so
keep up
far.
with Christina on Instagram?
Yes, yeah, I
Uh,
know she's killing it on them workouts she's
yes,
doing.
she is. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, she
Christina's been
kills it
killing
on
it,
those. Um,
killing it on those workouts.
her and her boys love going to the movies, and I respect that. Being a movie fan myself, so yeah, I do follow Christina, and if you're not following Christina on Instagram, definitely go ahead and hit her up. Christina, go ahead and give yourself your own plug tonight if you're still in here.
So I got one of these crazy Entertainment Earth mystery boxes. And if you don't order a lot of things from Entertainment Earth, you probably think I'm crazy when I say that. You're like, what do you mean an Entertainment Earth mystery box? Well, Entertainment Earth likes to send out all of their pops that you ordered at one time in different boxes for some reason. They have this crazy way of doing it where they send them all out in these individual separate boxes. It must cost them a fortune in shipping. I don't really understand how they could be profitable that way, but they must have figured it out somehow. Somehow they must have figured that out to where it works for them. I have no clue what's in this box. Zero. It could be a soda. It could be a pop. It could not be a pop. I don't really know, to be honest with you. What do we got in? I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
you
you the
never.
one
I mean, yeah. I mean, usually it's sodas. You order a lot of sodas typically,
from Entertainment Earth. I tend to order more sodas. It
but
seems
that
that
looks
way.
like it's a pop.
This has to be a pop. This is a pop. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What is this one? What is this
Oh,
one?
it's a blue. Oh, it's the Make a Wish.
Oh man, this thing is old.
That was the Make a Wish Spider-Man.
It is the Make-A-Wish Spider-Man. I do not have the Make-A-Wish Spider-Man. This is the one of the few Make-A-Wish pops that I did not get my hands on. He did not come in mint shape either, to be completely honest. The cool thing about ordering from Entertainment Earth, in case like everybody doesn't know, is they have a mint guarantee. He did not come in mint shape though. I don't know if you can see the bow in the back of that box. He definitely did not come in mint shape.
Hit
I
them
could
up.
get really picky and like send it back to him, but I tend to not care, to be honest with you.
I
It's
think
one of those.
I think that it was the same thing with like my Cheshire cat. I told you before, and it's when you told me about the mint guarantee. It's like I could hit him back, fall, but you know what? I don't really plan on getting rid of it anytime soon, so I really don't care that much.
Right, and they have that whole thing on the bag. They're all numbered SEs. There's no number in the Make-A-Wish pops. This Spider-Man's really cool. It is a remake. I mean, the mold's probably been redone 100,000 different times. It's just done in that really
Yeah,
cool
but the
Make-A-Wish blue.
remake mold isn't what that one was all about. I
Right,
think
it's in
that
this
one.
really cool like Make-A-Wish blue. I like the Make-A-Wish stuff. Y'all know me. I like the pops that have a little bit of a purpose to them. The stand that they have him on is really cool as well. As a matter of fact, I think I have this one out somewhere. That's kind of funny. Check this
Bobble. I
guy
love the bobble.
out. Man, that's really cool. I love
In
that
fact, I
color
think
thing.
that's. Oh, I don't have him. He's back there. I think that's the same stance as the black and white one too, or the black light one.
Oh
If I
yeah, they
think
they
anyway.
use this stand in so many different ways. This pop has been recycled over and over and over and over. It's one of the crazy things about Funko, to be honest. They recycle their stuff a whole lot. Whole lot. I see we got Kenneth Bird in the house. How are you doing, Kenneth? It's a really cool pop. There's not a lot in the form of Funko news today, but there is some stuff that I have managed to find. So you're gonna have to tell me, did you know that Netflix has a Adams Family series going on?
The new one, the live animated one. It's after Wednesday Adams, right? That's the one you're talking about.
What do you mean live animated?
Well, it's not animated, so it's a live action one. I have seen it, and originally when I heard about it a long time ago, I was skeptical because, of course, Christina Ricci did play a fantastic Wednesday Adams, and I think she did well. But this trailer, the girl that they cast for it, I mean, looks like she's doing phenomenal with it, and I'm really excited to see it. I think it should be interesting. Supposedly, somewhere, I mean, they've already showed who's playing Morticia and Gomez, but somewhere someone did jot down that there is supposed to be a cameo somewhere from Christina Ricci at some
What?
point. But I'm excited for it. I think it's a new spin on the Adams family, but still in the same, old fashioned torture each other type of an idea.
So I feel like sometimes I must be like living in the Twilight Zone because I didn't know that there was a new like Adams Family anything coming out. I mean, like I didn't know there was an Adams Family anything that was going to be debuting, and I had kind of started to find the news.
Wait,
Check
what?
this check this out. Check this out. Watch this. This is how I found out.
Let me check.
I mean, so they released the Wednesday Atom Pops. You have your Funko Shop exclusive, even though we know the Funko Shop exclusive doesn't hold any weight anymore. It's kind of falling off. Then you have the common, which to me is no different now than a Funko Shop exclusive. And then you have the Diamond Series Hot Topic, which if they're not careful, won't be worth any more than the common. This is how I found out that there was a new Adams family. Is
Now, I like the idea of the show. The Funko, I think, failed 3 times on this, um, because really, if you look at them all, they're all the same exact head. First of all, second of all, there's only one difference between the two of them, the three of them, and it's the violin or oboe or whatever the hell it is she's playing. And the other one, you just slap some metallic on it. Um, I think this is just extreme laziness by Funko's art team and design, and I think, yeah, this is horrible, really.
So we've kind of been seeing that a lot lately, right? On just the laziness that's coming out
Extreme
of
laziness.
Funko, right? It seems like here lately they have just been really, really getting lazy
Mm.
with the way that they're doing things. This is one of those instances. I mean, you're 100% correct. Between the Hot Topic and the Common, they're exactly the same. One of them's a Diamond Series, one of them's not. I mean, but they're the exact same pop. You might as well call one a Chase variant.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, I would have rather more have seen, just the regular one, because you had a scene in the trailer where she's basically dropping a bag of piranhas into a pool after a bunch of water polo kids. I would have rather seen something
so
like
you've
that.
seen this?
I've seen the trailer. Yeah.
Oh,
Trailer is fantastic. I'm excited to see it, but I would have liked to see a scene like that, and only one of Wednesday. Maybe get a Morticia in there, maybe get a Gomez, maybe get a Pugsley in there. Get a little bit more. I mean, we understand Wednesday pretty much has the same look all the time. I get it, and I think that's why we love her as a character. Morphed into a pop? No, it's boring.
look, I didn't even know that they were doing any of that. I had zero clue that we were seeing any of that come from them. I guess I just thought that I don't know. It was extremely odd to me when I seen any of these. When I seen any of them, I thought, "Well, what is this?" And it made me look into it a little bit. I think they're extremely weak. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I kind of they're it's garbage. this this is garbage, and it makes me want to watch the series now.
The series, I think, is going to be good. But yeah, Funko screwed up on this one.
Yeah, so let's get that one down, and then there is some more pops that I want to talk about. So
Now,
this is yeah.
I did want to say, now, going with what you were seeing, something I did come across something the other day that, as much of a Marvel fan as I am,
Oh,
I'm extremely disappointed in Funko.
you've got my attention. What are you talking about?
And I saw this and I was like, what the hell? So they dropped in this, right? Of course, you know my feeling on the art series. There's only been very
Yeah.
few. But here's the stupid part about this. First of all, I understand Wakanda Forever is coming out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Very excited for it. Think it's going to be a great movie.
I don't think
Really
so.
excited. However, you've already done Shuri art series once. It was shit. You already done Black Panther art series. It sucked. And then you're going to go ahead and drag Miles Morales into this and slap his own face all over himself. And I understand they're doing it because the new animated movie is coming out. But come on, man. Come on.
Hey, look. So let me ask you a question. The Black Panther and the Wakanda Forever pops are all over the shelves at Walmart. I mean, like
Nobody's
all
buying them.
all over the shelves. They're piling up in this Mount Everest of pops that they're starting to accumulate, from the art series to the regular pops to the, before you know it, they'll have a black light variants of them. They have to be coming soon. I think that they're about to start coming back with a metallic line. If my speculations are correct, we're going to start seeing a metallic line come back. Um,
But here's the super party. Whoever also decided, not only are these art series butt ass ugly, same with the other Black Panther art series was also butt ass ugly. But then you're gonna go and try to force us, even if we did want it, and even if we did like it, Then you're going to go try and force us to buy a hard stack. Why on earth anyone would put a art series pop in a freaking hard stack to begin with makes no sense. And if you think you should put an art series in a hard stack, let me know. I'll come over there. I'll kick you in the nuts, and I'll tell you what you need to be putting in a hard stack. And we'll leave it at that. But it's like these things are overpriced. They're dumb. And if I could get the address of the person that decided this horrible decision, I'd pay to fly out there and kick him in the nuts.
So look, Flipcakes has a point,
know.
right? This is a cool Miles, but hear me out on this. They've done Spider-Man now in every suit, in every pose, in every shape, in every form, in every way that you can possibly imagine 15 times.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Spider-Man, when it comes to pops, is played out. I feel like this is the one pop that must sell well, and they have stomped it into the ground.
Well, I think Spider-Man has definitely also gotten into that realm of the Darth Vaders, the Batmans. It's always the same shit over and over and over again. And mind you, I am a Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man is probably my second favorite Marvel character of all time. But you overdone it. You need to slow it down. You need to, I mean, like I said, I get it. You're doing it because it's a Miles movie. Maybe you haven't done a Miles pop in a while. But, it's...
They cameo him in everything, too. Everything. Yeah. Everything. It's kind of crazy. But anyways.
Sorry. I saw this and I was like, what? I had to rant a little bit on that.
Let's quit picking on Marvel right now. Let's pick on DC for a second.
Well, I love to pick on DC, so.
What is this?
Oh, what in the what in the hell is Batman / dominatrix Riddler have to do with whatever the hell is going on here?
I don't really know, so I'm kind of confused. I was hoping that our audience and you could help me out on my confusion.
And why the hell would GameStop ever approve this bull crap?
So GameStop has the Batman Hush, which is half Riddler, half Batman.
I don't know. I'm very confused by this.
And let me
it could almost be half Harvey Dent, half Batman, because Harvey Dent, of course, was. I don't know. I've never heard of this. I don't get it.
So this is a different one for me. Okay, so this is, I don't even know how to defend them when it comes to this one. It's really tough to defend them when it comes to this one. This is a really tough one to defend Funko with, because one, they set themselves up to where they can't recycle this mold other than recycling the colors. Okay, so they could make a black light version, they can make a chrome version, they can make a diamond version, but you've kind of limited like how you.
Please don't even make this version.
Yeah, don't even make this version, but you've limited to how you can recycle the mold, right? Want that head sculpt is that head sculpt. I mean, you can't get away from that head sculpt. You can't reuse that head sculpt on anything else.
And I'm sorry, but the one little the one little friggin' ear thing he's got there just.
I don't know. It's so strange.
I mean, maybe you could use him for like a box cutter or something. I don't know.
I've seen this one and thought, what would you how would you even? Okay, so let's just say that I was going to turn this into a custom. What would I do to it?
Nothing. There's nothing you could do to make this thing better by any means. You can't metallic. You can't chrome it. You can't, diamond it. You can't blacklight this thing. You can't make anything to make this thing look cool. No. I mean, and mind you, I get it. Anybody that knows me and anyone who watches the show, I am completely biased by any means because I hate Batman. But come on, you guys got to agree with me on this. This is just, what in the hell?
I don't know. Look, I was on the same path that you're at this moment. I seen it and I thought, what exactly happened? Why is it so bad? But it is extremely, extremely bad. That was a really bad line for them to go down with the DC. I mean, do you remember when they did the painted different Batman? So one side of him would be one way, one side of him would be another way. I have a lot of those Batmans hanging around here. I thought they were super cool. Like you had him as what was the straw man's name? You had him that way.
Scarecrow.
You had him as Riddler. You had him as a bunch of different ways. I thought those were really, really cool. You love
All right,
Batman.
Flipcake. With that comment, you ain't never coming on. Forget that.
He said, "Yeah, all right." So I seen Zach was picking on these guys, and
I'm kind of in agreement with him on the chases. I would rather have all three commons than the chases. They kind of look like uh glowing color booger.
I've seen a lot of people hating on these, right? So a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's jelly, looks like gummy bears," or
Oh yeah, that's a good Sour Patch Kid.
right, or Sour Patch Kids. I've seen that there's a lot of people hating on them. They didn't sell out, so there's that side of it, right? So when anytime something doesn't sell out, the haters come out in like groves. It always seems that way, anyways. The second something doesn't sell out, we all like, oh, that's so trash, right? I don't agree. this is this is one of those few moments that I don't necessarily want the chase, but I don't think it was extremely weak. I think that they've had far weaker chase variants than what we're seeing here. A far weaker chase variants than what you're seeing here. We've seen the ones where it was where they just changed the gun in his hand. They in one they'll have a lightsaber and the other one they don't.
I
Um,
don't disagree with you on this, but just like look at this one alone, being it's a character that Sarah Jessica Parker plays.
yeah.
She looks like she was someone made a Jello mold of this pop, and then took those wax lips that you can buy in the dollar store and stuck these wax lips and some Frosty the Snowman eyes on the front of her. And I mean, the only thing I'm missing is the carrot nose. I mean,
I
I'm not wrong here.
I get what you're saying. I really do. But when it comes to like let's say how weak they are, I just don't I'm like, I don't think it's that weak. In the grand scheme of how weak they have been, I think that you know me, anytime they use the same one, right? So the weight doesn't change, nothing changes. It's just the same one done in a different way. I'm all for it when it comes to the sodas. When they decide that one of them's going to hold the globe and the other one's not, I'm not with that because that's when all of
Yeah,
the people come out with their little weighing
yeah.
machines and they
That's
go to Hot Topic and they stand there and they start weighing them. When someone should just slap them, that's when that starts to come out. So if they went from this to a black light, or they went from this to a translucent, or they went from this to a chrome, I'm with it because it takes away all of that crookedness that comes with these sodas. So anytime that it's such a little change like that, I am with it. I am not with the one that's holding the globe, one that's not holding the globe, the one that's in a different pose, the one that's not in a different pose. I don't like those because that's when people start getting online and they're like, this one weighs 28 grams. This one only weighs 20. Make sure that you get the one that's 28. Oh, come on.
I'm
Come
sure.
on.
I'm
So
sure they're not sniffing their nose to weigh grams and shit. I mean,
well, but you know what I mean, right? I mean, so anytime that it's just a change like that, I'm 100% with it. Now, do I want the chase variants? No. No.
I'd
I've
rather have
I've
the commons.
I've ordered all 3 of them, and if they're not all 3 commons, I'll probably order another one. This is the one time that I don't want the chase
Hey,
variants.
if you get the common, you can just make your own Jello mold out of it, and
Right, but I don't agree that it's the weakest chase variant ever, right?
I
I've
don't think
seen
it's the
so
weakest
many
ever.
people.
Is it dumb? Yes.
I've seen so many people that are like, "It's the weakest one ever. It's
No.
trash. That's why they didn't sell out." No, they didn't sell out because there's 25,000 of them is why they didn't sell out. And
That number should have been a lot lower than
yes,
it
that
was.
number should have been a lot lower than that. But let me say something else to these numbers now that I'm starting to think is fact. I think after this sits on their site for so long, they're going to destroy the rest of them or they're going to give them away to employees. I think that after a while, they put sold out on their stuff regardless if
That's
it sells out or not. And I
Probably good.
didn't believe that until it came to the NFTs, right? So they came out with the NFTs, and when they started pushing the NFTs, suddenly the NFTs would sell out, even though everybody knew that they didn't sell out, and you were just speculating how it could have possibly sold out. I believe now that they're doing the same thing with the
Dead zone almost
sodas.
buddy.
They're doing the same thing with the sodas, and they're doing the same thing with the 3 liters. Is when they don't sell out after a while, they magically disappear off the site and they say sold out. It's no different to me when they start saying uh quantities are low. That's
Yeah.
another hype noise for like you to try and like get behind the fact that it's really not anywhere near close to low, but we want you to believe that it is so that you come on here and buy it before anyone else
I'm
does.
actually okay, to be honest with you, Flipcake, if they did decide to go with no numbers, to be honest with you. I'm actually, because I mean, once we all realized about the different numbers on, around the globe, then it really, to me, it was kind of meaningless, to be honest with you, because the number's fake. I mean, yes, that's the ones in the US, but hell, I can go get a whole different number account in Europe or something. I would almost rather them get rid of the number system, to be honest with you.
Yes, Zach, I've seen sodas at Hot Topic.
I
So,
have to.
I am, and y'all are probably right. So, and they might at some point
God
never take
bless.
last what is going on. They might take the numbers completely off of them, and they probably should. To your point, when we thought that there was originally only 3,000 of them, that was the coolest part of buying them, is that you had 1 in 3,000. Which when they do stuff like that, I would like to know which one of the 3,000 I have, which is the one disappointing side of it, right? They don't
Mhm.
when you see your pog, it doesn't say one of 2,400 or two of 1,400 or 200th of two, you know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
should tell me what number mine is, right? That's my first complaint with them. My second complaint was once we all discovered that they were sending these overseas. So not only was it 3,000 here, it was 3,000 in Asia, it was 3,000 in Europe, it was 3,000 in the Philippines, it was 3,000 in the United States. It's what do you mean? It can't be 3,000 in all of these different places, right? You have to tell me the legitimate number of them. And so I think once we figured that out, right, the 3,000 lost its value. It lost
Yeah.
its weight, right? It lost its weight once you figured out. And then that told you why they didn't say 270 out of 3,000, 290 out of 3,000, because it wasn't 3,000. They knew it wasn't 3,000, and that's why it said one of 3,000, because it's just one of them.
So I had to make a comment. So his last like showing up was our ears ringing since I was bashing Batman as typical. But I mean, our ears should be ringing because that's a typical comment out of my mouth. So I don't know.
So your favorite things dropped for Halloween. How many did you get?
A whole big fat zero
What do you
again.
mean you got 0?
I still have never bought a single NFT,
That's
and I will
right.
never buy a single NFT. I agree with you, Dead Zone. I
Look,
would respect that a lot more.
Dead Zone gets me. He gets me. That's what it should say.
On planet Earth,
400,000
there's this
Earth.
many.
Earth is what it should say. Just tell me how many are on Earth. That's all I want to know. If you send them to Mars, if you send them to wherever, I just want to know how many are here. That's it.
Maybe that's what Funko's doing with this old not sell shit. Maybe they're launching it to the sun.
Oh, I honestly believe that they're giving them away. They give them to their employees. They probably had lots of like morale, like uplifting things, so they give a lot of stuff away. I mean, or they just destroy them. I mean, that's possible too.
Do you
You
think
could
it
send
could
it
be
back
like
to be
because you
recycled.
you think they could be sending it to like the third worlds, the ones that they send like the wrong Super Bowl shirts to that think that the other teams won the whole time, and they send this all to the same third world people that they really just want food and not pops and t-shirts.
I maybe look. I would respect that number so much
Yeah,
more if
I
it
would
was
too.
if it was a real number. I would respect that number so much more if they would just say this is how many it is. If they would just put on there, this is how many we made. I mean, that's all. That's all I want to know. How many did you make? That's
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care where they went. You could send them wherever you want. Just
Give us
how
the
many
real
was it?
number. Be
Yeah.
real and give us the real number.
Just how many was it? I mean, that because to me at that point it starts to get crooked when you're like, well, I mean, especially like check this out. Anytime somebody says first look on a soda, I don't watch their video.
Oh no.
I don't watch their
Well,
video.
first
Let me
of
tell
all,
you
you
why.
got sent by it, and you got to give it a good review because Funko just sent you that shit.
No, that's not what they're doing. So what they're doing is they're going on to these different sites, and one of them's the
Oh, they're getting a European version.
yes, so they're getting the European ones, and there's some Ostiman is what I think it is, that you can go in there and buy all of those. Just heads up on that. You can buy them all like a month in advance, no joke, a month in advance to before they ever release anywhere else. You can go in there and get them from Man. They will ship them to you. You will get them weeks before they hit the United States. So anytime somebody comes on and says first look at this soda, first look, I refuse to watch it because somebody went and bought one from Australia. They had it shipped to them just so they could be like first. I refuse to watch it. So it refused to watch the first ones.
Here's a man we haven't seen on
I seen that.
on the live for a while. I kind of agree with him on this one.
They kind of are. They kind of are. So they dropped them for Halloween. I know that no one here, just like myself, we didn't order these. I thought that I would throw that out there just in case somebody wanted to see them.
What's
They
up,
are
Slush?
cool. I still am not into the NFTs. I
Never will
said a long
be.
time ago that they weren't real, that they weren't a real NFT. It feels like everybody caught on later that they weren't a real NFT. There's a lot of like people out there that are hardcore into them, but I do want you to check.
I mean, if you like him, I respect it, but I mean, I just think the switch, the bait and switch from from Funko, because it's like, yeah, cool, buy the NFTs and you can get these real live action pops. But wait, you're not going to get you have to submit for it, and then if you forget, well, screw you, and then you're going to get them about a year later. What?
Right. Well, even that goes back to what I was just ranting about in the number game, right? So even the NFTs are lying in their number.
Yeah,
So the NFTs say that there's only 1,250
there's
50
less
of them
than
made.
that.
There's less than that. So there's actually I think the statistics was only 60% of the people who actually get the redeemable pops are actually redeeming them. So there is a large group of people that aren't even redeeming the pops. So then these pops technically should be destroyed or not. The numbers should be changed. They're not being destroyed. They're ending up on other sites, and I can't think of the names, but I've seen them on other sites for sale for hundreds of
Wait,
dollars.
do you think they're still making them, or
Yes.
at this point, as long as it takes Funko to actually send them to people, it almost seems like they're just waiting until they get the redeemable amount and then make those, and don't actually even make the full amount.
I I don't honestly know. I think that I heard through the grapevine at some point that Funko was they were walking out Funko's back door, but you know how that goes. Look, I've heard that statement so many times in retail that they're not even hitting the cash register. They're probably hitting a cash register somewhere.
Right.
Somewhere they're hitting a cash register. I'm sure that that's what's going on. New camera.
Well,
No.
first of all, Zach, I don't know why does Regan have so many dates. I don't really know what you're talking about. The hunt, I respect that Dead Zone. If you're into it and a hunt for it, and that's something you're into, good. By all means, do it and appreciate it. And I'll back you up on that. Slush, I appreciate that, buddy. I'm trying to lose weight, I'm about 20 pounds down. So
Woo woo.
trying to do better, and trying to get back down to a respectable weight, but it's not easy by any means.
Damn!
But I appreciate the comment.
All right.
Regan head turner. I'm still confused.
So they are coming out with a second wave of your Boba Fett pops. Now
Why? That shows came out a year ago.
I feel like it's a little late, but I feel like some of them were much needed. Some of these guys were much needed in the world of they needed to come out with.
Wait, didn't we already have that Grogu? I'm pretty sure we already had that Mando as well.
Well, I'm sure that we've had all of these characters with the exception of 3 of them. So we
The
have
only one I don't
Constantus,
remember seeing is Luke
we
Skywalker.
have Constantus up here, we have, the sheriff. That wasn't the sheriff, that was a
That
bounty
was
hunter, right?
no, that was what the hell's his name? It just had
Anyways,
it. Anyways, yeah.
so we have him for the first time. We have Constantus. This is his second time because we had him in New York Con. Was it New York Con? New York Con, right? Or was it San Diego? Where's he at? He's over here
No,
somewhere.
that was a New York con. That was a New
You
York con.
sure?
Yeah.
He's right here somewhere. That was New York Con. Okay, so that was not in San Diego. So we
Oh shit! I'm sorry, guys. Yes, they're talking about Regan from The Exorcist. Yeah. I'm slow today. I'm sorry. Hey, sorry. I kept talking about Regan turning heads, and I didn't get it. But yeah, remember Regan completely
I
turned her head around. Yeah, I'm slow.
I got
I'm
it.
sorry.
So then there's this guy.
I'm
This.
still not into it.
This is awesome. What do you mean? I need this in my collection. I need this in my collection.
You
So
know,
out of
here's where I think that they screwed up because first of all, the show came out so long ago. I don't even remember this scene at all. And you know, maybe if it came out sooner or closer to when the show came out, you'd be like, oh, I'd be like, oh yeah. I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and watch the show even to see it. But I don't know. The
I
Rancor is cool, but I don't know.
That's I need that thing in my collection. He's gonna go right up there with my Wampus. I need this guy in my collection. Something serious. So out of all of the new Boba Fett pops, I think this was the most anticipated one that they're gonna be coming out with. This is the deluxe version, so we know that this thing's gonna be $29. I think that that's a crazy
Look, it's gonna
price.
be 29 or it's gonna be like 45. It's very
29, I
possible.
think now is where we're
29.
at with the deluxe pops. I think 29 has is where they have like failed. I think at some point Funko is going to have to back off of that. If they don't, I think they're going to find themselves in trouble. But you know how that goes, right? I mean
Yeah.
that I could talk about that all day. Like I could talk about how they keep advertising their stock. Like every other day they have somebody who like blogs about how great their stock is. I have a very like high skepticism anytime somebody starts like telling me every day how great they are. So I get a little skeptical at that point. Um,
I just like I said, I just think this is a little late, you know, in the game to produce these.
I think they're very late in the game to produce them, but it to me it's better late than never. And I'm probably very biased, right? Because I am a huge like Boba
You are a big
fan,
Bobo.
Fett. I am a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm probably biased when it comes to these. But I think that it was time that they came out with some of them. I couldn't believe it took them so long to come out with Casantas. That
Here
was
here's one thing that kind of is weird though. If you notice it, and I don't even know if you picked up on this. This is a set for Book of Boba Fett.
yeah, yeah.
Is there a single Boba Fett pop in this set?
No, but it's Book of Boba. And they're calling this a jumbo pop. Oh man, that thing is gonna be $40. Oh my
I think it's
god.
gonna be like 45. I
So
think.
it's gonna be an Entertainment Earth exclusive. I did not know that it was a jumbo pop. That means that thing is all day $49. That means they're gonna ask like the same price that they asked for the 10-inch pops. Crazy insanely expensive. Um
I'm gonna get your when you order that. I'm gonna have Entertainment Earth switch your boxes and send you the Star Wars snowman instead.
The Star Wars Snowman and said, so here's the funny thing, right? Do you remember I see Sledge said sorry, and I'm not sure what he said sorry for, so I was kind of hoping that he was gonna like keep going at some point.
I think maybe because like the light bulb kicked on and I stopped you mid sentence. I think that's what it was.
Oh,
I don't know. You didn't have to
well,
care, but
so Funko has made their claim to fame and collectibles because they were the affordable collectible, right? You can't go out and get a sideshow for under $100. I say $100. That's probably being very generous, right?
yeah.
That's probably being like very like generous. You can't go out and get a hot toy for under $100. You can't go out and get any of those. But what you could do is you could go out and get a Funko Pop and your Funko Pops are $10, even though they were if you would have honestly, like, paid a little bit extra, you could have bought something like a hot toy, and then you could have just changed it out into a bunch of different poses. You could buy that $10 Funko Pop, and then you could just work it that way, right? I mean, that's kind of always been their claim to collectibles is
Mhm.
you could afford them. I feel like now they're getting to a point that you can't really afford them
Well, I
anymore.
think it depends on where you get them. I think, if you're the one that wants to pop hunt and go to a place like Target or Walmart, who still keeps their prices low on them, okay, it's somewhat in there. If you are going after you getting them from Funko, or you're getting them from Hot Topic, or Box Lunch or something like that, yeah, they're definitely going to be higher. Especially if you're doing, even with some of the places like Entertainment Earth may keep some of their prices down, but then you still got to pay for shipping and handling. So, I think there's many different factors in that, but and it all also comes down to what your perspective of collectibles. I mean, there's a lot of people that, regardless of the price going up, they're going to continue collecting. I mean, the way, like, look at you and myself. Um, but I probably don't collect them as quickly as I used to. Maybe, I guess, we say that. Plus, I did want to. Slush had a question for you, Wayne.
Yeah, I was gonna get to it as soon as you were done. So I have tried. I have as many of them as I could get. Some of them were super hard to get. Like Vader was super hard to get. One of the Boba Fett's I missed right away because it sold out really fast. I've missed some of the Star Wars stuff, but not much of it. But yeah, I've kind of been collecting sodas on the low, and that's kind of funny that I've been collecting them on the low. I kind of been collecting them on the low because I feel like maybe they got too much attention.
Yeah.
It maybe that was what I felt like. But anyways, they've been one of the on the low collections. I believe that sodas, the 3 liters, are going to be the next big thing.
They're
I
slowing
I
down though. That's the
I
funny part.
I think it's the price of them, though, and
Yeah,
that's
I
kinda
think
what
it's
I was
just
talking
the
about a
price.
second ago. There was a time that Funko was known to be affordable, right? You could
Yeah.
afford to collect them. That's why people have so many of them, is because the price was so low and you could afford to buy them, right? It was something that I could stop at any random Tuesday and pick up a Joker from GameStop because it was only 10 bucks. Well, now it's not 10 bucks, it's 15 bucks, and now my I have I'm not gonna say the largest jumbo, the 10-inch collection because I know who has the largest, but I'm not gonna say it. I bet I have the second largest 10-inch pop collection of anybody out there, but I don't buy them anymore because they went from $29 to 49. I mean, so the price of the price of them is really going up, and it's not slowing down, and that's kind of a scary thing when it comes to Funko is that their prices are not slowing down.
Now I do have a question for Slush. He says, "P.S. He has all three of those Toys R Us pops right in
I
front
do
of
too.
him, and he bought them for a friend." Now my question is, I know he's in Canada, but I know I've talked with him before. I mean, he's in Toronto, I believe, and so it's just he told me before it's really not that far from the U.S. border. Being that Toys R Us is not in the states anymore, and I've heard they're in Canada, maybe England
Toys
somewhere,
R Us is back though,
but they're not making brick and mortar stores in the
but they're
U.S.
inside
much, are
Macy's.
they?
They're inside
Oh, are they
Macy's.
inside Macy's? Well,
Yep.
I didn't know that. But I want to know is, does he see a lot of U.S. People from the U.S. going to places like Toys R Us to get these type of collectibles, to make the border crossing just for some of this, or is it something that they just try to get people from Canada to ship over like yourself? I'm kind of curious to see if there's still a lot of border crossing for something like that.
I'm going to say no, and this is why I'm gonna say no. Simon has sent me all of the Toys R Us stuff that he gets his
Good
hands on.
job, Will.
If I can get the Macy's one, I'm gonna send him the Jeffrey from Macy's because they're now starting to show up, and I've been actively looking for it. But he's been sending them to me. Everybody that I talk to from Canada, when I say stuff about this, tell me that they're all over Toys R Us. Like they have Jeffries for days. That people
Really?
don't collect them. Yeah, they're not collecting them like we do. It's not quite the same, right? And I can believe that because, all right, just in the United States, people up north collect Funko Pops. People in the South tend not to. And this isn't from me. This is from store owners with different places that I've been. I've been like, hey, they'll be like, "Oh, you collect these? No one collects these here." And they'll have pops that are really old, right? They'll have really old pops in your southern places
Mhm.
versus the up north. So there, it tends to be very geographical
Yeah.
is to where you find people. And I'm going to say, I'm going to step out there and say it's because we're stuck inside a lot of the year, right? And I don't mean like stuck. Like I can go outside. I can go
Well, you
freeze
get
to
a
death.
lot more snow than
I
I
can
get
yeah,
down
I
here in
can go
Florida.
freeze to death out there if I'd like, right? I mean, I can physically go out there, but it's cold. I mean, it's cold. I mean, we're talking like negative teens, right? It doesn't take much to find yourself in trouble in negative teens. So I think it's because it's just geographical, right? You have this geographical part of the world that needs something to get into, and
Yeah.
it's comic books, movies, or Funko Pops, right? I mean,
So Slush did say it cost him 46 to buy them from the store. I do. This is another thing that I thought was funny
I
with
did not know
shipping,
that though.
and doing this YouTube stuff, and when I was doing giveaways, I kind of thought it was very weird. It cost me about the same amount of money to ship a Funko to Canada as it does to ship something to England
Ain't that
or
crazy?
even Australia.
Ain't
I
that I
shipped
think it
both,
cost me more.
and it's almost, I would think that goes to somewhere like Australia, it's going to cost more, but it's about the same amount as sending it to Canada.
I
It's like,
honestly
what
think it
the
costs a little
hell?
more. I honestly think it's a little more to send things to Canada than it is overseas,
Yeah,
and
and he
I'm
did
with
say they
you.
had a ton of those there.
Yeah, that's I've always been told that, but I the price point that he put on there got my attention. $46?
But he said he had three of them. Oh, so wait, how much?
40
What did that break? What does that break down to? 46?
Oh, I thought he meant a piece. $46
No, he
to
said he
buy
had
them
three of
from the
them.
store,
So
and
I
I'm
would assume.
gonna be like 36 to I don't know. I don't know, but he's 100 you're both of y'all are 100% correct. It is like $40 every time I send something to Simon. It doesn't
It's like
matter if I
16.
send him a pencil, it doesn't matter what I send. It's $40 every time. Well,
Yeah, it's
14.99 is
crazy.
about right. That's about right.
I
And
mean, I would think it'd be easier to send it. It'd be easier to ship to Canada than Australia or the UK. But man, it's dumbfounding.
I'm with you. There's something crazy though about that. Top Pops is
It's really the only person who makes videos inside of Toys R Us, and you can see some of the old pops they have. Yeah, I mean, like I said, maybe they don't. Maybe up north they don't collect them as much, or I think Slush just said, they don't really, nobody buys pops really up here.
I'm telling
There's
you,
tons in the
it's a very
stores.
geographical. For some reason, it's very, very geographical. Very geographical. So the Toys R Us, and we're now starting to see them come into the Macy's. Macy's and Toys R Us must have teamed up somehow. And like there's a Toys R Us inside of my Macy's now. It's very weak. I just
Weird.
put out a video on it not too long ago. It really didn't catch a lot of traction. Don't care. But it's up if you want to go check that out. But
You know,
it's
that
there.
kind of reminds me of a little bit. You remember back in the day where they used to have, like, in a Sears, they used to have like that video game section that was
Yep.
almost like, it wasn't really part of Sears, but it was a whole different video game store within Sears.
Yep.
That's kind of what that reminds me of.
It's exactly what it's like. There's a Toys R Us store inside of Macy's, but we both know that Macy's has been doing kind of rough, right? I mean, we know that. We
All
100% aware of that.
malls essentially do rough because with the merge of Amazon and shipping of stuff like that. I mean, people aren't going to malls nearly as much as they used to in the 90s and 80s and stuff like that.
So this is going to be the Entertainment Earth Mysterio. This one is kind of cool to me. I actually have a couple of them, and both of them look exactly like that one. The difference is that this one has a metallic globe, and they don't. And this one's a glow variant, and they're not. But I think one of mine is a glow variant. I wish it was closer to me
Yeah.
so that I could look at it. Um,
I would have liked to see them make the helmet more glow than just the fog that's around him. I think that would have been cooler. I mean, the only Mysterios I have are, of course, the zombie ones where it has his brain sticking out of it. But
But I had to go over there and pull this up because I wanted to see how much that Entertainment Earth exclusive. I can't even say the name of that thing. You said it just a second ago. There's a lot of sodas that are still for sale.
wait, what did I just say a second ago?
This thing up here. So they have him up here. I just got to get to him. Well, they didn't have him there. Hold on. Let me find this. So we'll do it this way. 32.99. Look at the price of
Well,
this
we're
thing.
wrong on both ends, but
Yeah, the rain core. So this is still what they're considering the Jumbo Pop. This is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. There's a link in the description somewhere. If you want to go pick one of these up, use that link. This channel is going to get a few pennies every time you do. I'm 100% with it. I am 110% with it. It will be in my
well,
collection.
I think it would look good with your Luke
Guarantee
Skywalker
you.
plane.
Well, I have the Millennial Falcon.
Yeah.
I have Yoda raising X-wing. I have some cool like Star Wars stuff. At some point, I should set up like just a Star Wars like spot because I have like some cool. I have the chrome red Boba Fett, Mandalorian that you got me. I have some cool like Star Wars stuff that at some point I'm going to have to set up. But that is really cool. I mean, you have to give them a little bit of credit there.
But
That
but but
is
I
really
but I
cool.
get to go see the Millennium Falcon.
I'm not listening to you right now. You're trying to rub it in my face.
I don't know how many times I've called you when I've been at studios and been like, "Here, check out what's behind me."
So there is a lot of sodas that are still on here for sale.
I
I guess
still think they're going down in
if
popularity.
if you want to pick some of them up, go pick them up. But I
That
tend to
Padme
agree
is
with
kind of
you.
cool.
I tend to agree with you. I think these things have gone way down in popularity. This is going to be a Star Wars. Yeah, this is a Star Wars exclusive. It really reminded me a second ago on my top 10 list that I did this week. Um, it has some pops that I've never seen. So it has some Asian pops. I don't know if y'all knew that I knew that Asia pops were a thing, but there is a lot of them that were at the New York Comic Con that were never announced. They had their
Yeah.
own booth. They had their own booth. I didn't even know they had their own booth. So Asia Pops had their own booth that they were selling these pops at. I am confused as to why like some of the people that were there. There was a lot of pop channels there this year. I am 100% confused why none of them did like a story on this, why none of them did like
That's
a
weird.
check out these Asia Pops. I'm so confused on what happened, but I have found them. So some of them made my top 10 list this week. They were third and fourth is what I think they were.
Well, I think like my Chinese New Year Mickey was I think I ordered from kind of like a
Yeah,
Asia
but does it say
pop.
Pop Asia? Because it says Pop Asia on them.
Yeah,
So
it
when
says
it
Asia Pacific
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah. So they say Pop Asia though. You see how this one says pop with purpose?
Yeah,
Let me pull this down. So you see how where it says pop here? Oh, let me
yeah,
find the right side. Right there. Then it says
yeah.
the purpose. So these say Pop Asia, right?
Well, that one doesn't. Of course, I'm dropping everything. It doesn't say it up top, but it says on the sticker.
Right, and maybe that's something that they just started doing. So when I found them, I found that it says Pop Asia on there, and that made me start looking further into it. And then I discovered that they were actually at the New York Con. Super confused on what goes on and why like they were not talked about more. Why we didn't like why that wasn't a topic. Because there was some really cool ones. And if you haven't checked out that list, look, if you do nothing else, just go check out 3 and 4. And you're going to be in the same spot that I was at. You're going to be like, what happened? Why was this not talked about? Why was this not like debuted? What was the malfunction? Why didn't people see the coolness? Because they have I'll give it away. One of them that's on there is northeast, south, and west. So it's a mythological guy or guys in Chinese mythology, right? I guess did I say that right? Mythology, Chinese.
I'm interested now. I gotta
So,
look this.
anyways, it's in Chinese mythology. Northeast, southwest. They're supposed to be like the protectors of the northeast, south, and west. It's one guy. He's in different poses. Some of the coolest pops I've ever seen in my life. I mean, ever seen in my life. And for some reason, everybody like skipped over it. Nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about the booth that they had that was just Pop Asia at New York Comic Con. So confused on what like people were doing. You want to talk about like drinking the Kool-Aid. Nobody thought for a second to give you a different look at things. They just kind of all shoved that one view down your throat.
These are
I don't
kind
know.
of interesting.
They're really cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really cool. Do you have them pulled up?
Yeah, let
Throw,
me
throw
see
them
if I
up here
can.
real quick.
I pulled up a page that has a bunch of these that say Pop Asia, and
Throw, throw that up real quick.
just about everything is sold out.
AKA Little Monster. Well, I hope that you found them because I was not able to find them. There's a few of them that I will actively go and buy.
Um, this is the second page, but let me go back to the first page. Like I said, this is under figurative toys. And I wouldn't mind finding another website, but yeah, you can see where it says Pop Asia right inside here.
Click on some of them. These are not the ones that I was talking about.
These are legendary creature
Look
myth.
at that.
What the? That's got some cool detail to it.
What?
I like the sticker too.
Look, if you get a free moment, go check out that video that I
Various
made
creatures of
on the
myth.
top 10. If it's not something that you've already checked out, go check that out. I'm not doing a plug. Look, you don't even need to watch
Great
the whole
box
video.
though.
Just go to 4 and 5 or 3 and 4. It's one of those and check those out so that you can see those Pop Asia Pops. They're really cool. And I can't believe that people didn't like. I would have made a whole video about that one booth. That one booth would have been just one video.
Look at
And
this
me
gold one.
and me trying to figure out how and every one of the Pop Asias that I seen had something to do with like a mythological creature in Chinese or Chinese. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. Every one of them had something to do with that. Rather, like one of them was the year of the tiger, so it was a whole tiger. It's look, there's some cool
They're
stuff
quite
over there.
interesting.
Cool stuff over there that we've totally ignored. That I don't understand why we ignored, but we did.
There was this one I thought was good, sold out, of course, but this Astro Boy. I mean, this. I mean, we're talking about that ugly ass Batman that they had. This, I mean, it's in a similar range, but I think being that Astro Boy is a robot, I think this makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Huh? You turned me on to something. I might have to start finding some of these things.
BG Pops. BG Pops? I don't know what you're talking about, Dead Zone. I have Jollibees. I love Jollibee. I don't know what happened to me in like the Philippines and one of my first
Have you ever
Jollibees
been to
that
an actual Jollibee?
no, they're in the Philippines. They're not here in
Oh.
the United States. So they're only in the Philippines. No, I've never been to a Jollibee, but there's something about that pop that is really cool that you just don't find in other pops. It's the one I have two of them. One of them that I picked up, I actually picked up with Adam from Beer to Pops. We were out doing a pop hunt. That was one of them that I picked up. The band
Oh, you're talking about the Bee Gees.
the now that makes
Staying
sense.
alive,
When I
staying
say it in
alive. Ha, ha,
when I
ha,
say it in
ha.
one word, it makes sense. When I try and look at it like that, I couldn't my brain look. I'm
Staying
sorry.
alive.
It's probably too much extracurricular activities. My brain it just seemed BG and I thought, well, I don't know what a
He's
BG
still trying to
is.
get through the 80s.
No, I don't have any of those Saturday. No, I don't have those. 80s was an interesting time for music. There's only like some of the 80s stuff that I'm into, like Guns N' Roses, Kiss, Metallica. You know,
Wait,
there's
wasn't the
only
Bee Gees the 70s?
I don't know. I don't know if they were or not. He got me on that one.
I'm
Um,
confused.
there's a lot of the sodas that are still up over on Entertainment Earth if you want to go check those out. But what I wanted to come over here and check out for real was the really cool expensive stuff that I never check out all on my own that I like coming on here and checking out with y'all. So let's see. We have the Black Series Luke Skywalker Lightsaber FX Elite.
Oh, the hell.
$278.
No, thank you.
Wow.
I'm sorry, if I'm going to spend that much on a lightsaber, I'll go with the raised prices over at Star Wars Land
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna go
make my
build
own
it.
lightsaber for $250.
I'm going to go build it at that price. I am with you 100%. I am going to go build it at that price. But here is an Optimus Prime. Ooh.
And I guarantee it has like a 50-page instructions on how to transform it.
$699.
No, no, no.
What?
No transformer is worth $700.
What? It looks like the one we had as a kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
It's
think
not
that
even
it
a cool, it's not even a detailed one. It looks like the exact one we got in the 90s
yeah.
that we all broke trying to transform.
Wow. So it looks like this thing has some kind of maybe an app with him. This
No.
thing must be a robot.
Dude,
Hold
that
on,
thing
let me
better
see.
be able to go in the kitchen and get me a beer in order for it to be worth $700.
Must be some kind of a robot. So hold on, let me see. This thing is 16 inches
Yeah,
tall.
exactly, Jack. Zach. And the instructions are not in English.
Allows you to customize Optimus Prime's unique actions and sequence. This thing must be some kind of a robot that allows you to like move it and do different things. Yeah, it has 27 servo motors and yeah, so this thing is some kind of a robot that you can move and do. Here, there's a little video. Let's check out this video. How
OP
long is the
Elite
video?
Launch.
Gotta be careful with these stupid videos. Make sure the sound's not on.
Yeah, screw it. They'll just copyright me. I don't really care.
So let's see.
Oh, it's going to transform on its own.
Oh, yeah, this thing transforms on its own. Oh, look at that.
It
Look at it.
fights and it transforms
Get
on its
out of
own.
here.
Still not worth $700.
5,000 components, 60
There's
chips,
60
24
microchips in that.
turbos. This thing walks, voice commands, remote control.
That's just weird, dude.
Still not worth
No.
$699. That's really cool though. Looks like he's really shooting his gun. I look, the thing's really awesome. I can't imagine spending that kind of money for him. There's no way that a kid would ever like get anything like that. You can
Oh,
it's
it says
pretty insane.
auto converting robot. Okay, that's weird.
Pretty insane. So let's check out this thing. This is the Twilight Zone.
Oh, I think I
Looks
remember this episode.
I don't. What
Yeah.
is this? What is this thing? What is this?
Yeah, it was it's basically like a yes or no. It's kind of like a friggin' Zoltar
Yeah.
and 8 Ball mixed into one,
What?
but with a devil head.
Oh, we don't want
But it was
to.
also Twilight Zone. So I mean, come on.
Oh, well, here you go. Let's get us a Chucky doll.
No,
Life size, one scale of 1 of 1, replica,
that shit would never be in
$459.
my house. No,
What?
no,
What do you mean? I'm ordering you
no,
one. This one's coming directly to your house. This is your Christmas gift.
no.
Look at that thing. It is creepy.
I'll punt that shit out of my house real quick.
Creepy. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, you could get the Bride of Chucky to go along
You
with
get
it.
both of them. Screw that.
Name is Tiffany.
Why don't we make Annabelle while we're at it?
Name is Tiffany, which is only suiting because that was the name of my first wife.
Should be Karen. It should be Karen.
Only seems suiting that would be the Bride of Chucky.
Were you married to the Bride of Chucky?
Basically, probably. I thought it was more of Theodora. Oh, let's see this.
Get Elvira.
There's been a lot of Elvira stuff here lately.
Yeah, but it's that time of year, so
Lots of Elvira stuff here lately. $250, I guess, isn't like terrible, but that's still too much money for me. It's a 1/6 scale, which means this thing is pretty big.
too much.
And it comes with different arms and heads and all kinds of stupid stuff. You know how that goes. Let's see what else we got here. Wait, have you seen the new Black Adam?
Nope.
There's lots of good reviews about the new Black Adam, but I have not been to see it.
I'll wait till I think I said it last week. I won't. Other than having to go because you guys wanted me to go see that stupid Batman movie so bad that I don't really pay to go watch DC movies. I'll wait. I'll watch it and I'll wait till it comes out on HBO or something like that. But
So this thing is 14 inches tall. That thing's pretty big. Pretty big, but they don't give you the scale of it, so it tells me that in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty small.
That's funny.
What you laughing about?
You could pay a woman to dress up like Elvira for less than that statue.
That's right. Who said that?
Last.
Huh?
Last.
That's right. I could pay someone to dress up for Elvira cheaper than the price of that statue. Oh, that's kind of funny.
Now, I did see going back to that Mando helmet. Of course, you can buy an actual wearable Mandalorian helmet out here at Disney for about $140. And there was a family last night that was trick or treating that they had. I mean, these were like spot on outfits. One kid had the exact like Mandalorian Din Djarin outfit. Even had a little Grogu in his knapsack. Another person had a dead on Boba Fett outfit, and then the other person in their family had a dead on Bo-Katan.
All right, so let me ask you
outfit.
about that.
It was
Let
great.
me ask you about that because I heard a rumor that you couldn't wear a mask in Disney if you were over a certain age.
That's
So if
correct.
I why is that?
They changed that many years ago, I think. And this has changed well before COVID. But yeah, I think they changed it a while ago. I think there was something that happened a while back, and I can't remember. But they changed it for adults. You can't wear masks or anything. Like you can wear some face paint, and it's
What?
only certain times a year. Technically, people do it all the time, and some security doesn't say anything. Technically, adults aren't even supposed to wear costumes year round. Now there has been TikToks out there of people going into Disney with costumes and some people getting past it. But they do check that stuff. But I don't know. It's just a weird rule they made a long time ago. I'm assuming it has something to do with pedophiles, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing here, but something of that nature. But I'm sorry if you're at Disney and you ain't keeping an eye on your own kids, you're dumb.
I could not believe that there's a rule in effect that says that I can't go out there dressed as Darth Vader. I can't go out
Mhm.
there dressed as Boba Fett. I can't go out there dressed as the Mandalorian or a Stormtrooper or any of those guys who wear a helmet. Just seems crazy to me. Seems crazy to
It
me
is.
that I can't go out there and interact with everyone else. I understand why, because there's always like that one bad apple that just ruins it for all of us. But it
That's just
just
the way
seems
of the world,
crazy to
unfortunately.
me.
There's
Just
always
seems crazy to me
there's always
that
those few weirdos that screw it up for everybody.
could pay some woman to dress up as Elvira. She's in that statue. I'm gonna be thinking about that one for a while. So tell us what you got coming on in your Disney World. What do you got going on?
Not much. I mean, like I said, I got oh, I did a small little breakfast food court, review from All Stars that I got to edit. That'll come out at some point. I've got some more TikTok stuff that'll come out. As far as news has been a little quiet from Disney, other than the Fantasmic, the long-awaited return of Fantasmic out here at Hollywood Studios. Tonight was the official return, actually, of that. Even if I didn't have the show, I'm not a full time YouTuber. There's no chance in hell I'm dealing with that crowd tonight on the opening night. That's just gonna be absolutely nuts. But I'll eventually get out there and I'll take some video of it at a couple months, maybe beginning of the year, something like that. But see, I'll look online and see what they have. But of course, that's just some news and other things that, of course, is going on. And I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to try to stick on the positive and not the negative, and give you the news. I mean, plus I've only got 5 minutes worth of news, so I'm not going to sit there and give you my full opinion. Anyways, if you want it, you can come to the show and I'll give you my full opinion. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do what I enjoy, and we'll come out, and I'm gonna get my schoolwork done early this time, so I don't screw that up. But I like it because it's Photoshop, so I love working with Photoshop. But that's about.
You're still taking those Photoshop classes, huh?
This is an advanced Photoshop class, yeah.
Have they
So
taught you how to make me look good yet?
we could work on that.
Oh
I
shit.
got some
Oh
spots we
shit.
can do,
Gonna finally make me look good.
All right, I just take your head off and put it onto somebody else.
That's a great idea. That is amazingly a great idea. You should definitely figure that out. You should figure that out. When you're taking my head off and like putting them on things, Luke Ferrigno when he played the Incredible Hulk back in the
And I'd make your face green along with it.
now you don't even have to make my face green if you just figure out how to like you know what's funny? Let me tell you what's funny. That is my favorite Incredible Hulk is the Luke Ferrigno, and I don't even know what year it would have been Luke
That was
Ferrigno,
in
but
the 80s. It was
but
like late 80s.
that was to me, that was like the golden age for the Incredible Hulk. I used to make jokes with my friends like later on in life that what happened is that dude had to that dude had to follow around his drunk buddy. And every time his drunk buddy got in trouble, he would have to come out and keep his little drunk buddy from getting beat up. And that's who the Incredible Hulk
Well, see,
was.
I think the Incredible Hulk and something like the old school Batman with Adam West, I think fall into a whole separate category themselves because this is before the day and age of CGI and
Yeah.
computer enhancements, and it really just came down to someone coming up with the creativity to go, let's make Incredible Hulk, and we'll just paint a huge bodybuilder and
Just
make him
some
into the Hulk and give
big
him cool
guy.
eyes. I mean, it was a great idea, and it, of course it went on for a while, but I think that's a lot of people can respect it because, like I said, it was done before CGI and all that stuff. So I still
Look at
respect the new stuff and what they're producing now, but you can't take away from that old school.
and there's something about the old Batman where when he hits people, it says,
Yeah, the
"Pow."
pow, yeah.
I think it's great. I think it was great.
Although I do think that Robin back then was a little foo foo, with that
Well, I mean, they
spandex
all kinda
tights
were,
and
weren't they? I mean, they all
huh.
kinda had tights on. It was all a little bit, like, funny for their time, and even, like, now, today's standards, that would be a little weird, right? Them all running
Yeah,
around.
Robin's the only one I could think that was just like really like out of place, and
Well, they kind of all were, if you'll go back and watch it, you'll be like, "What
maybe
is
maybe
this?"
I gotta go watch it again.
Every one of them. If you'll go back and watch some of the older series stuff, because I like to do it sometimes, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like,
But
"Huh?"
sometimes it destroys your childhood because I remember going back and watching like He-Man again as an adult, and I mean I used to watch He-Man when I was a kid all the time. Then I watched He-Man as an adult. I'm like, holy crap,
You're
He-Man was
like
always gay.
you're like, "Huh?" Like
I mean,
Scooby-Doo and Shaggy?
not that like that's wrong or anything, but damn,
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy? We both know
there's a
what they
lot of
were on.
questions to be asked there.
We both know what they were on. I mean, they always had the munchies, and they were
Mhm.
always not trying to do nothing. They're so
Exactly.
so,
So
I mean
it sometimes it screws up your memories of something as a child watching it back as a kid.
5 Minutes of Disney, we're gonna see that this week. I look
Yes.
forward to seeing that one this week.
Yep. We got
Um,
well with new month means we're gonna get a new countdown video.
I just dropped it, so it dropped,
Did you jump?
Monday
I gotta watch it.
Monday
I've been out of it.
Monday, that video dropped. That goes into the Pop Asia stuff, so make sure you
Okay.
go over there and check that out. I told you, look, it's not even a plug. Go skip ahead, follow I think it's like 3 and 4 or the Pop Asias. So just skip ahead to 3 and 4 and check out the Pop Asias. Um, other than that, I don't really know what I'm doing coming up here soon. I'm going to continue doing the same thing that I've always done. My stuff is starting to change the tailor. It's starting to change like the way I'm doing them. I don't really consider myself an unboxing channel anymore. I consider myself more of a collection vlog, which is kind of funny because
So
there's
wait,
no
we're not gonna get
categories.
any more dinosaur and jet skis.
I mean, maybe we will. At some point, we're going to continue to see that stuff. You know me. It's. I just consider myself a little bit different channel. than,
Or is it getting kind of cold for the lake now?
it's too damn cold for that lake. It's
See,
way too cold for that lake.
it's hard because being out of the pool all day on Saturday, I get to get sunburnt on my shoulders this
Everything is out of the
weekend,
water here. It's
and
way too cold for all of that.
it was like 90 degrees out here in Florida this weekend.
Way too cold for all of that. Way too cold. Never gonna happen.
Well, speaking of cold, I gotta ask Slush if he's still in here. What's the average temperature for you guys up there right now?
I'll bet he's like into 30s.
No, but
Easy.
for you, what's your average temperature right now?
Right
50s?
now we're in the 50s, but it's dropping like into the 30s in the morning.
So
So
at this point in October, what's Canada's? I mean, he's lower Canada, of course, but what's the average temperature in Toronto going right now?
thank you,
I
Lass.
mean, I would assume they're gonna have, snow. I mean, do they even have snow yet?
I would imagine they're getting close. I mean, so in the next month we should start seeing snow.
How
Yeah, I
many?
mean
Well,
easy.
that's another question. In Canada, how many months out of the year do they actually get snow?
I would imagine that theirs is a lot like ours. I would imagine we follow a lot of the same like times. Our summers are really only 2.5 months. And that's it, and that's like a good let me put it to you this way, today it was 59, and I had on shorts and a T-shirt because it was a heat wave.
Now, if it's 59 down here, these Floridians are getting their what they call winter clothes out,
I had
and they're
shorts
bundled up.
I had shorts and a T-shirt on because it was a heat wave. I mean,
Uh,
so think about that
if
for
it
a minute.
drops below 60 out here, these people got pants and
Mm-mm.
sweatshirts and beanies on, and even gloves.
It was a heat wave. I had the windows down in the car with shorts and a t-shirt. But anyways, I don't know. Come check me out Friday. I've been doing a lot of shorts here lately. I'm going to
I
continue
like the
doing
shorts. I
more
will give you
shorts.
that.
You're going to see more shorts coming from me. They're going to continue to come out. I'm going to use them. I'm going to still do long content. All of that stuff's going to keep happening. Just know that we truly appreciate you guys. And we will catch you next week.
Thank y'all.
Have a good one, guys.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Sometimes the easiest things to do take the longest amount of time to get done. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but before we get out of here real quick, guys, don't forget to go check our channel memberships out. These are both very new features to Mr. Techbot and myself, but we're both very proud that we have made it to this point. So go check out our memberships. The link should be down in the description below. If it's not down in the description below, you should be able to go to any one of our videos and it'll be down in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. It's super cool, fun way to get interactive with the channel. You'll get some really cool icons, some really cool emojis you can drop over in that super chat. You can drop over there in that chat so that you can flex on everybody a little bit. And don't forget that any and all super chats will go down in the description after this video is over. Give us 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes to get it down in there. I mean, we might not be able to do it right away. You know, we've got to eat dinner and still hang out with our family, but we truly appreciate all of you guys, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one.